And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Rasta Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. My name is Kitty Owado, aka the Conscious Rasta. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, or GMT. And I would say that's 8 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Tuesday. It is the 23rd day of December, the year 2025 in the Western calendar. This corresponds to the year 6265 in the calendar of ancient Kemet, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. I got a good presentation for you today. I think you're really going to find it very enlightening, very informative, and inspiring. Inspiring. We want to inspire you, especially during this December fund drive. I want you to come to the conclusion that you will never find another source of hard-hitting, useful, practical information as you get here every day on your LIB Radio. And if you do feel that way, and I most certainly do feel that way along with you, then I want you to make the commitment. I want you to get in our fund drive, get in your licks. They say if it's going to be a fight anyway, then I'm going to get some licks in. Well, if it's going to be a celebration of life anyways, then I'm going to be a part of it. And we need here at LIB Radio, we really need you to step forward, show some love, show your face, show that you do care about your global family. And that is what we do here on LIB Radio. Here's the theme for today: beneficial changes during a 3-day water fast. Welcome to the Conscious Rasta Report. Today we're diving deep into the transformative power of a 3-day water fast. We'll guide you through each 12-hour segment of the full 24 hours, revealing the remarkable changes happening inside your body. From cellular autophagy to metabolic shifts, the science is undeniable. By the end of this episode, you will understand exactly why water fasting is one of nature's most powerful healing tools. And I might say is also one of the most rapid healing tools. So that is what we have on store for today. It's going to be a great day. And first of all, let's begin with a short piece of video I have queued up. And I'm going to silence my microphone, and we're just going to play a little bit of this video. I think you will find it to be highly informative.
8 hours into a fast, foods already inside the digestive tract are consumed for fuel. Glucagon is then released by the pancreas, triggering the liver to excrete glucose. Simultaneously, ghrelin, an appetite-stimulating hormone, is excreted. You'll want to eat at this point. At 12 hours, human growth hormone is released by the pituitary gland, inhibiting the breakdown of muscle tissue. There is also a decrease in body temperature. Then fat begins being sourced for energy needs. Next, autophagy is activated, where damaged cells and bacteria are flushed away by the body. At 36 hours, glucagon stores are fully consumed. Fat now becomes the primary source for mental and physical energy. At 2 days, hunger feelings subside, with elevated alertness and mood and an overall sense of well-being or euphoria. After 72 hours and gently resuming eating, the body resets. Fasting benefits continue for several more days. 8 hours into a fast, foods already inside the digestive
mute my microphone and say everything that I just said. I'll have to go through and erase that from the original track. But the beautiful thing about a 3-day water fast, it really, really does work as your body, not eating, goes into itself and starts scavenging, looking for all kind of things, including the last of the food that is in your body, processes it all. But the thing about it is, you will, on the third day, get constipated. As you scavenge much of the food that would be pushing that food out, then you would get constipated. I see you, my brother, Sawubona, Kwame Reje, Ma'at Babakiti. I started my 3-day water fast on Sunday. So did I. And today is my last day. Thank you for introducing me to water fasting in your inaugural 56-day stem cell rejuvenation course. And you know, I'm gonna need to restart that stem cell rejuvenation course, as you know, Brother Reggie. And please write a little bit more if you want. I'll read that and it'll be shared as your testimony. But the stem cell rejuvenation course, 56 days, that's 228 days. The stem cell rejuvenation course is remarkable. You can reset completely, totally, wholeheartedly. Reset your body to what? 5, 10, 20 years ago, maybe even more, in 56 days. And 56 days is not so long a period. 2 4-day or 2 28-day cycles. That's a total of 8 weeks. And it really, really works. So thank you for being here, Brother Reggie. I welcome you. Our sister Rhonda is in the house. Great to have you with us as well. She says, Uja, all. And Hotep to you, Brother Reggie. Kwame Reggie. And let's go into, I've got to set this up. Bear with me. This is the 3rd day of Kwanzaa season. If you don't mind, let me just put that into the record. Kwanzaa season, 3rd day. Where we at? Behind that at, my daddy would say. 3rd day is Asar, the true self. Recognition of the higher self that exists within, which is the perfect will of the Creator. So that is the 3rd day. We've already done Ma'at. We've already done Set. Now we're on day 3 of the Kwanzaa. No, it's the Karast Ma'at Kwanzaa celebration. We added 5 days from Karast Ma'at from ancient Egypt added on to the front of Kwanzaa because it was so blatantly, obviously missing. Not to take anything from Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa means a lot to me. But those 5 days from the winter solstice were missing. I'm not going to go into details, but we had to put that all back together, especially I am a Kemetic priest of the Sacred Order of the Sons of Ra, and it was our founder, Brother Calvin Kennedy, a.k.a. Jehuti Be Sa Ra, who gave us this addition to the Kwanzaa, for which we are so eternally grateful. Now, I've got my PowerPoint up on the screen. I'm going to start it. And I've got to do a couple of things. I got to minimize this screen so I can turn the pages comfortably. And I'm going to go into the other screen. Don't do that. Go to, where is it at? Behind that ad. I'm going to go to, here I am. I'm up on my StreamYard, and we're going to add this screen to my StreamYard. Took me a while to find it. Haven't done it in a while. And I'm going to add this window, and we are now sharing this. And I have to do this one more time. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. You are now seeing my screen. Let's go through this presentation. And I want to thank all of you for being here today. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But we're here. Let's do this thing. The beneficial changes during a 3-day water fast. And you can see I've just done it. And that also corresponds with my push-up sequence. Now, here's the thing. People think you're going to lose your energy. They think you're going to lose your strength. Now, I weighed in today on the 3rd day, Brother Reggie, of my water fast, the beginning of the 3rd day. I weighed in at 138.6 pounds. 138.6. I meant to write that down. I'll get it. I'll remember. 138.6. I don't like being 138.6. I like being about 7 or 8 pounds heavier than that, which is what I weighed at age 25. But the thing about it is this is fasting weight, and that is getting rid of the toxins, getting rid of the fat. And there's a lot more to do. This is just the beginning of my extended fast. But my body mass index will carry me on to beyond 122 years of age, according to my longevity calculator. So I look forward to it. Let's get into this. The benefits of a 3-day water fast. Most people who are serious about achieving optimized natural health have become aware of the powerful benefits of periodic detoxification fasting. Today, we revisit the awesome benefits of water fasting by citing specific changes that happen within the body during a 3-day water fast. Now, I have combined 2 PowerPoints into one today. And the first PowerPoint was done, a couple of years ago, actually excerpted from the 56-day 56-day stem cell class that you were talking about, Brother Reggie. So that one is going to be in here, but I also did a lot of research this past week on 3-day water fast. And so I'm going to be combining the two. You're going to see them combined. Oh, back up. While the first day may be a bit uncomfortable, the great benefits that kick in during the 2nd and 3rd days are well worth the effort to express this mind over matter exercise of willpower. I encourage everyone who hears this message to learn more about these wonderful life-enhancing benefits. I promise you, you will not regret, not even begin to regret adding this to your lifestyle. Going forward, water fasting, these are the benefits of a 72 water fast. Water fasting is the quickest known means of whole body healing. Point 2, it cleans the brain and resets your energy. Point 3, it improves immune function. You repair your damaged cells and you remove dysfunctional cells and pathogens. Point 4, benefits of a 72-hour water fast: reduces inflammation and neuroinflammation, meaning of your nervous system. Number 5, increases autophagy, the breakdown of cells and pathogens. Point 6, water fasting engages stem cell activation, proliferation, and differentiation. Point number 7, decreases autoimmune disease. Point 8, water fasting benefits the gut microbiome. Number 9, increases the DNA repair processes. Caution: for those who are insulin-dependent diabetics, women menstruating, hypoglycemic, meaning low blood sugar, and on prescription drugs, consult your physician as you implement water fasting. I'm not telling you not to do it, but you do want to consult with a physician so you will know and he will know what to look out for you. That makes good sense. Let's keep going. Water fast, day 1. Now, this is from the original stem cell presentation. Day 1, between 8 and 12 hours. The 8 hours is, of course, you are sleeping. Now you're coming out of sleep and you're on the water fast. Point 1, decrease your glucose used for cellular energy and the glycogen, the stored form of glucose that's in the liver and in the muscles. Point 2, it increases glucagon, pancreatic regulation of glucose and ketones. Your human growth hormone, it releases or increases human growth hormone, which stimulates cell growth and cell repair. Cortisol increases cortisol, adrenal gland stress response, and adrenaline, the body's fight or flight hormone. Point 3, it decreases your insulin, which regulates your glucose uptake, glycogen, and protein synthesis. And it regulates fat storage. So this insulin is a very powerful molecule that's as a response to after we eat, our insulin goes up. But in this case, we're not eating, so it decreases overall insulin. Insulin can be a tremendous help inside of our body. But if you are overweight, if you're hyperglycemic, if you're having any types of neuroinflammation, your insulin is out of control. In this case, it brings it back into control. It increases your ketones. Now you're burning ketones from the fat, turning fat cells into energy. It began weight loss by consuming adipose tissue, the fat cells. It increases your logical hunger triggers in the brain to seek food. Now, you'll be amazed that these hunger signals include enhancing your eyesight, your hearing, your sense of smell, very dramatically, as the logical hunger triggers in the brain tell you, go find me some food. Now, 8 to 12 hours after your last meal. This is the new research. In this window, metabolism is still largely in the fed post-absorptive state, using circulating glucose and recently stored glycogen for ATP production. ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is where your energy on the cellular level comes from. Insulin is declining from its postprandial peak, while glucagon begins, I think it's glucagon, that's it. Glucagon begins to rise, signaling the liver to start releasing glucose from glycogenolysis to maintain your blood sugar. Point 2, cells primarily oxidize glucose via glycolysis and the TCA cycle, with minimal ketone production and low autophagy activity. The TCA cycle, also known as the Krebs or citric acid cycle oxidizes acetyl-CoA in mitochondria to produce oxygen or carbon dioxide, NADH, FADH2, and ATP precursors for cellular energy. Now, what is NADH? Is the reduced form of nicotinamide, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, carrying high energy electrons from the TCA cycle to the electron transport chain for ATP energy production. That happens every day, all day, all day. But when you're fasting, it all changes. FADH is the reduced form of flavin adenine dinucleotide, delivering electrons from succinate hydrogenase to complex 2 in the electron transport chain. Now, you may or may not be interested in this, but this is where I'm at. And so you're getting a chance to sample what's inside my brain. Point 5, hepatocytes start mobilizing liver glycogen, while muscle fibers continue to store their own glycogen, reserved for local use during activity. And point 5, insulin drop allows early activation of hormone-sensitive lipase in adipocytes. So low-level lipolysis and free fatty acid release are already beginning in the background. And that low-level lipolysis is your body is now looking for food and it's finding the fat. Let's keep going. 12 to 24 hours. By 12 to 24 hours, liver glycogen is significantly depleted, often by 12 to 18 hours. And the body begins a clearer shift toward fat oxidation and ketone generation. This period is the classic, quote, metabolic switch phase, where many regulatory pathways change direction from storage to mobilization. So by 12 to 24 hours, you are burning fat for your main energy source. Point 2, hepatocytes ramp up beta oxidation of fatty acids and start producing measurable ketone bodies. That's a good thing. Acetate, beta hydroxybutyrate, which begins supplying neurons and muscles with an alternative fuel. Point 3, falling insulin and rising glucagon, cortisol, and catecholamines enhance gluconeogenesis, using lactate, glycerol, and some amino acids to preserve plasma glucose, meaning blood sugar, for red blood cells and a portion of brain demand. Your brain is going to be demanding more and more energy during this process. We have to understand that. The brain's going to be searching for food. That's that logical process. Early autophagy is initiated in multiple tissues as mTOR, and that's a mechanism tolerance of, what's it called? I'll get it in a second. I do have it in here. mTOR activity decreases and AMPK activity rises, promoting a lysosomal degradation of damaged proteins and organelles to recycle amino acids and substrates. Your body starts scavenging the bad parts, the broken parts inside of itself. So that's what autophagy means. It's a good thing. mTOR, or mechanistic target of rapamycin, thank you, is a serine threonine kinase enzyme that senses nutrients, energy, and growth factors to regulate cell growth, protein synthesis, metabolism, and autophagy. It forms two complexes. mTOR-C1 promotes anabolism and inhibits autophagy during nutrient abundance, while mTOR-C2 supports cell survival and cytoskeletal organization. Fasting suppresses mTOR enhancing cellular cleanup, as noted in prior fasting details. Now, this is really good stuff. I do hope you're following along and listening along. It gets even better. Water Day Fast Day 2. Now this is from the original PowerPoint. A steady increase in brain-derived neurotrophic factor and human growth hormone. 2. Increase of autophagy and replacement of senescent cells. Senescent cells are cells that are on their way out. They're lazy. They're dying off. Point 3, tau, amyloid, Lewy body dementia, alpha-synuclein, primed glial cells, all related to PTSD, concussions, Parkinson, and Alzheimer's. This is now replacing, getting rid of this debris, these faulty proteins inside your body. Mitophagy begins to correct inefficient mitochondrial function. Insulin resistance decreases, so because there is no adiposity to correct. A decrease of fatty liver as fat cells convert to ketones. So non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is one of the biggest problems that people are not even aware of they're going through. If you got a big belly, chances are you are suffering from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and it's very problematic. Here is how, in 3 days, you're going at all of this. This is awesome. 90 to 95% of your energy now comes from ketones, converted fat cells, instead of glucose. This is why, with the ketone energy, why you start to feel really good during that second day of the water fast. Hunger pains decrease. The brain no longer facilitates the distraction of hunger pangs. Now, this is my new research. 36 to 24. This is the second day. 24 to 36 hours. Here's what happens. After about 24 hours, ketosis deepens, and growth hormone secretion rises sharply. While insulin continues to fall, this combination shifts tissues away from net protein breakdown and toward fat utilization. Subjectively, hunger often fluctuates as ghrelin pulses, but may begin to diminish as ketones accumulate. Plasma growth hormone can increase 7-fold within a 24-hour water fast, which supports lipolysis, getting rid of that fat, maintains blood glucose, and helps protect lean mass despite low insulin and low insulin growth factor 1 signaling. Alpha autophagic flux increases further as nutrient sensing pathways, reduced mTOR, elevated AMPK, and the sirtuins, which are part of your DNA, favor cellular cleanup and recycling, particularly in metabolically active tissues like the liver and the muscles. This is all happening in the second day. Wait till we get to day 3. AMPK, or AMP activated protein kinase, that's an enzyme, is a cellular energy sensor activated by rising AMP ATP ratios during low energy states like fasting. It promotes catabolic processes such as fatty acid oxidation and glucose uptake, while inhibiting anabolic pathways like protein synthesis, often opposing mTOR to enhance autophagy and metabolic efficiency. And when it talks about catabolic processes, that's basically you're cannibalizing these dysfunctional proteins and tissues inside your body. Adipocytes, fat tissues, markedly increase the release of free fatty acids. Mitochondria in the liver and muscles adapt to higher fatty acid throughput, promoting mitophagy and mitochondrial quality control. Mitophagy is you're getting rid of the dysfunctional energy-producing materials inside each living cell. Mitophagy is the selective autophagy of damaged or dysfunctional mitochondria, where they are engulfed by autophagosomes and degraded in lysosomes to maintain cellular energy, homeostasis, and prevent oxidative damage. This process ramps up during fasting via the AMPK activation and PINK1 Parkin pathways, improving mitochondrial quality as noted earlier. 36 to 48 hours. I hope you're feeling it because we are in it. By 36 to 48 hours, the system is largely adapted to fasting. Fat oxidation predominates, ketone levels are substantially elevated, and autophagy becomes a major intracellular housekeeping process. Inflammation modulating changes and stress-resistant pathways become more prominent at this stage. Amyloidosis is a rare disease where protein called amyloid accumulates in organs, impairing their function. This abnormal protein produced in the bone marrow can affect various organs, including the heart, kidneys, liver, spleen, nervous system, and digestive tract. Also, and we're going to talk more about amyloidosis, amyloidosis is an effect of the COVID mRNA injection, and it is a very damaging disease. Earlier I talked about tau protein, Lewy body disease, dementia, these others, and this is directly related to amyloidosis. And we have to understand we do not want to deal with amyloidosis, this build up clusters of these damaging malformed proteins inside of our brain and our body. We don't want to deal with that. Cardiac amyloidosis is the consequence of the mRNA. Neurons increase their use of ketones, which can reduce reliance on glucose and alter neurotransmitter balance. Human imaging studies show measurable changes in brain metabolism after 72-hour fast, reflecting this adaptation. Point 2, systematic inflammation markers tend to trend downward, inflammation markers trending downward. As pro-inflammatory cytokine signaling is modulated and oxidative stress defenses, example given NFR2, in RF2 linked antioxidant responses are upregulated, meaning we're getting more control of these internal systems. Point 3, NRF2 linked antioxidant responses refer to the pathway where the transcription factor NRF2, nuclear factor enthyroid 2, related factor 2, it activates upon oxidative stress, translocating to the nucleus to bind antioxidant responses as antioxidant response elements, AREs. This induces expression of cytoprotective genes, encoding enzymes like glutathione peroxidase, superoxide dismutase, and heme oxygenase 1, bolstering cellular defenses against reactive oxygen species, ROS. In fasting contexts like 36 to 72 hours, this upregulation helps mitigate oxidative stress from ketosis and autophagy. And in the background, your body is working now, starting to work on cleaning up the entire lymphatic system. And I don't know whether I mentioned that here, but that just came to me. That's what all of this means. You're cleaning up that lymphatic system. Keep going. Autophagy and mitophagy help clear misfolded proteins and dysfunctional mitochondria, potentially improving cellular bioenergetics and insulin signaling upon the refeeding. Day 3. Neurological system corrections. Now, this is from the original presentation on stem cell. Point 1, amyloidosis. There we are again. is a tau protein that aggregates abnormally and forms neurofibrillary tangles in neurodegenerative disease, disrupting the structure and function of neurons and leading to neuronal death. Amyloidosis is a rare disease where a protein called amyloid accumulates in organs, impairing their function. This abnormal protein produced in the bone marrow can affect various organs, including the heart, kidneys, liver, spleen, nervous system, and digestive tract. Lewy body dementia is a common type of dementia that happens when clumps of proteins called Lewy bodies build up in your brain. They damage parts of your brain that affect cognition, behavior, movement, and sleep. And one of my dear friends, his mother passed from Lewy body dementia. And in the end, she couldn't even recognize family members. We don't want to go out like that. 3-day water fast. Come on. Alpha-synuclein, A-syn, is a protein that is encoded by the SNCA gene. It is a neuronal protein abundant in the brain that regulates synaptic vesicle trafficking and subsequent neurotransmitter release. Primed glial cells refer to glial cells such as astrocytes and microglia that exhibit an altered state, making them more responsive to inflammatory signals or pathological stimuli. What I'm saying is these are all related to post-traumatic stress disorder, concussion, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other neurodegenerative diseases. One of the ways why we do the 3-day water fast is in the headline, day 3, neurological system corrections. It's correcting all of this stuff. This is awesome. Water fast, day 3. And this is again from the original. Further reduction in inflammation and oxidative stress, leading to improved cardiovascular health and reduced risk of chronic diseases. Continued weight loss and fat burning, generally leading to improved body composition and reduced risk of metabolic disorders. Anti-aging triggers biological processes that slow down aging and improve longevity. DNA methylation modulate gene expression and protein activity involved in inflammation and antioxidant defense. Metabolic homeostasis reduce or even normalize blood pressure and cholesterol levels, yielding benefits to cardiovascular health. Reduce or even normalize your blood pressure and cholesterol levels. That's awesome. It is essential to note that water fasting is not suitable for everyone and should be done with caution and professional supervision, especially for individuals with certain health conditions or taking medications. It is also important to stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water during the fast and to break the fast slowly and gradually with nutrient-rich foods to avoid adverse effects. And the adverse effects of breaking an extended fast can be serious. The Moonies were doing the fast, and Brother Darrell told me that at the end of the fast, he and his brother went crazy on some food and beef and everything and got sick as a dog. I broke a fast the wrong way one time. When I broke a fast, it was about a 10-day fast. I had to go to Europe, and I was lecturing in London, and I was so happy to be off the fast. I couldn't wait to get to some Ethiopian food. Eritrean food is very wonderful in London. It's the only thing you can eat in London. And I broke my fast by going to Ethiopian restaurant. It was too much. I ate too much of that food too fast, and I ended up leaving the food at the restaurant before I had to go back to my hotel, meaning I regurgitated it all. We continue. Water fast, day 3. This is from my new research. 48 to 60 hours. This is the beginning of the 3rd day, the first 12 hours. This period is often described as a zone of peak or near peak autophagy and robust ketosis. This is the period that I am in right now. Or I may be in the next period after this, because I began my fast at 7 p.m. So from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. would be 12 hours. So yeah, I am just past this. But this is the peak or near peak autophagy and robust ketosis with major cellular repair and immune remodeling underway. Fat stores are now the dominant fuel, and endocrine patterns reflect a deep fasting states. Autophagy reaches high activity, with lysosomes actively degrading damaged organelles and protein aggregates, that Lewy body, tau protein stuff. This intracellular recycling frees amino acids and lipids without requiring as much breakdown of functional muscle, because your body, in doing these processes and repairing this tissue and even engaging in exercise, needs the energy from amino acids and from fats. So we must build these fats, and if we are doing it right, and if we have enough muscle, enough fat tissue, our body doesn't have to start scavenging muscle tissue. But I will say, if you fast too long, and I have to be careful with myself right now because my body fat level is extremely low. If you fast too long, you start to lose your muscles. How do you counteract this? I am counteracting it by doing my push-ups. Yesterday I did really, really well on my push-ups here. Let me just read to you what I did yesterday. This was my second day of my water fast. On the first day of the water fast, I did my push-ups 350 plus 250 plus 200. In 3 sets, I totaled 800. Yesterday, 375 in the first set, 250 in the second set, and 175 in the third set for a total of 800. So today, I may or I may not slow down a little bit on the push-ups, because I don't want to go into my muscles. But then again, that's contradictory. You're doing the push-ups is to maintain the muscles and build the muscles. So going forward, growth hormone remains elevated, human growth hormone, while circulating IGF stands for insulin-like growth factor 1 is typically suppressed, a pattern associated with enhanced stress resistance and longevity signaling in various models. GF1, insulin-like growth factor 1, primarily mediates growth hormone effects, promoting cell growth, proliferation, and differentiation across tissues like muscle, bone, and cartilage. It supports anabolic processes such as protein synthesis, inhibits apoptosis, and influences metabolism by enhancing glucose uptake and fat utilization, while circulating levels drop during fasting to favor repair over growth. To favor repair over growth. This is awesome. Early evidence suggests increased activation and proliferation of tissue stem and progenitor cells. For example, in hematopoietic and gut niches, laying groundwork for regeneration when nutrients return. When nutrients return, regeneration. I hope some of you read my book, The Stem Cell Revolution, Holistic Means of Generating, of Regenerative Therapy. Because this is what I'm talking about. This is where the magic comes in. And this is available for each and every one of us if we should choose to do it. If you've never done a water fast, then what's holding you back? Normally, I would have a group doing my detox fast with me. But yeah, apparently people have lost interest in my fast. I suspect some of them may think my fast is too hard. Whereas I see them going to other fasts. I'm not even going to comment on a couple of the fasts I see out here. But I will say, I know as a fact, mine is superior. So we're just going to do the best we can. That's all that can be expected of us. 60 to 72 hours. This is the period that I have just entered. Between 60 and 72 hours, many sources consider the third day of fasting the period of the most profound cellular changes, particularly for autophagy, stem cell associated renewal, and immune system reset. Metabolism is fully shifted to fat and ketones, and resting metabolic rate is often maintained or only modestly reduced. Autophagy is at or near maximum activation for this fast, intensely clearing damaged cells and components, which can enhance tissue integrity and future resilience when refeeding occurs. Point 2. Studies inspired by Walter Longo's work suggest that 48 to 72 hour fasting periods can robustly stimulate stem cell driven regeneration, especially in hematopoietic and immune compartments, particularly rejuvenating aspects of immune function after refeeding. Insulin sensitivity generally improves. Fat oxidation remains high, and ketone use by brain and muscle is efficient. Sympathetic and hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis adaptations help stabilize blood pressure, glucose, and energy despite continued caloric abstinence. Again, what calorics are present are from your body burning ketones. That's the fat oxidation. And your brain and your muscles are using ketones. So my muscles are still building up using ketones. But I again say my body fat level is very low, and I have to be very careful. Amyloidosis and the COVID injection. I'm going to focus in a little bit more on something I recently, not too long ago, but put this connection. There are peer-reviewed discussions and case reports exploring potential links between amyloidosis and the COVID-19 vaccination. Though these are generally rare and emerging observations rather than established causal relationships. One scoping review based on systematic evidence searches discusses amyloidosis in the context of both COVID-19 infection and COVID vaccination, suggesting ongoing investigation into any association or impact vaccination may have on amyloidosis conditions. It's written by T. Ghazanfari et al. 2023, is entitled Amyloidosis and COVID-19 Infection and Vaccination, a Scoping Review. Point 2. Additionally, there are case reports describing severe cerebral amyloid angiopathy, related inflammation, CAARI, occurring after SARS-CoV-2 vaccination, highlighting isolated incidences where amyloid-related pathology appeared temporarily linked to vaccination. Another case report documented amyloid beta-related angiitis of the central nervous system. I think that's angiitis of the central nervous system, developed shortly after COVID-19 vaccination, written by J.A. Smith et al. 2023, entitled Amyloid Beta-Related Angiitis of the Central Nervous System Following COVID-19 Vaccination, from the Journal of Neuroimmunology. Overall, the literature reflects that while some rare inflammatory or amyloid-related events post-vaccination have been documented. These are not yet fully understood and remain under close clinical scrutiny. The general consensus in reviewed articles tends to focus on monitoring and managing amyloidosis patients during the pandemic and vaccination campaigns rather than establishing a direct causal link. This from T. Ghazanfari et al. From Amyloidosis and COVID-19 Infection and Vaccination, a Scoping Review. So those are references, 2 references. I do highly recommend that we pay attention to this. Lastly, there are fasting modification aids or alternatives. This is very important. Point 1, distilled water. Distilled water is free from minerals, chemicals, and contaminants that may be present in tap or bottled water. This is beneficial during fasting when the body is detoxifying. Now, during fasting, it's beneficial. But during the other times, we say you do not want to use distilled water because the minerals are all stripped from it, and it will seek to bind. The ions will seek to bind to the minerals inside of your body. So you want those minerals. Point 2, minerals, sea salt, and sparkling mineral water. Minerals, essential minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium are crucial for various bodily functions, including nerve, transmission, and muscle function. Ensuring adequate mineral intake during fasting can help prevent cramping and irregular heart rhythm. And one of the things about doing a 3-day or 5-day water fast, you will notice your body cramping, and the cramps can be really quite painful. That is from your electrolytes are imbalanced. You need electrolytes. And point 3, sea salt. Sea salt can help maintain electrolyte balance, especially if you're not consuming food. It can help prevent symptoms like headaches, fatigue, and muscle cramps that might occur, particularly in longer fasts. Generally, that's not going to happen in a 3-day water fast with the cramps and things, but it could very well. And if you do get headaches, that's a sign of your body is undergoing ketosis, eating the fat for fuel. And unfortunately, the fat stores your toxins that you and I encounter on a daily basis. So if your fat is storing the toxins, then when those toxins when the fat releases, the toxins are going to release into your blood. Sparkling mineral water. This can be a refreshing way to stay hydrated. It often contains minerals like magnesium and calcium, and the carbonation may help some people feel fuller, which can be beneficial during fasting. And veggie soup. Vegetable broth can provide essential vitamins and minerals, especially if made with various vegetables and herbs, as well as typically low in calories. And for me, that's generally how I'm going to be breaking my fast, is veggie soup, veggie broth. And I did talk about this graphic on the right-hand side, very important, 6 different types of intermittent fasting. Number 6, spontaneously meal skipping. Number 5, the warrior diet. You fast during the day and eat a large meal for dinner. Number 4, alternate day fasting. Fast every other day. Number 3, eat, stop, eat. Fast for 24 hours once or twice per week. Number 2, fast for 2 days per week. And number 1, the most popular, 16-hour fast each day. And that's the 16-8, not 16-18, 16-8. And I do 18-6, which I am fasting for 18 hours a day, and I'm eating for a 6-hour window. So that's different types of intermittent fasting. And that takes us to the end of our presentation. I'm going to see if I've gotten any comments have come in. I bet I do. Kwame Reje is in the house. Baba Kiti offers guidance that can not only enhance your overall health, but also save you thousands of dollars by using natural and holistic strategies. It says, what type of water do you use? Do I use for my water fast? I use alkaline water, and congratulations to you. I use mostly solid carbon block filtered water. And that is a very good source. The solid carbon block water filters out not only the chlorine taste, but also gets many of those contaminants out, such as perfluorocarbons and pesticides and other things like that that could be in tap water. Very good question. Thank you, Brother Kwame, Reggie. And let me see if I have any comments. I do see my sister for Africa One is in the house. Hotep Brother Kiti and Global LB family. I fast 7 days on water, herbs, spice, and lemon tea. I take Cascara Sagrada and for psyllium husk and or psyllium husk throughout if necessary. I can't cope with constipation. Is this okay? Psh, it's better than okay. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The psyllium husk gives us bulk, but has no nutrition in it, while Cascara Sagrada is a powerful herb that also functions as a laxative, but Cascara Sagrada has many different beneficial. So it's great that you mix the two. And doing 7 days on water, herbs, spices, and lemon tea, you are getting nutrition, but your nutrition is your caloric intake from your combination of foods is so low that you immediately get into the ketone zone. You may be there a few minutes later than the next person. Exercise helps to pick up this process of getting into ketosis. We want to get into ketosis. Now, I understand you are not very heavy, and if you know, I am not very heavy at all. But we're going to do the best we can to do the best we can, and we're going to do everything that we can do to convince everyone to want to be like us. So I'm just looking here. I've been charting my notes. And when I began the fast, I began at 143.5. My BMI 21.5, which is perfect, better than perfect. Then the next day, and how can it be better than perfect? I don't know, but it's good. The next day, day 2, yesterday, I woke up and I weighed 139.7. And that's where I'm getting a little concerned because I don't like my weight to get under 140. And then today I woke up and I did my 12, 23. I did my reps for my exercise, 160. I adding 5 reps every other day. So after 2 days, I'm up to 160 now. Actually, after 3 days, I'm up to 160. I'll do 160 today and tomorrow. My weight today was 138.6. Now let me quickly calculate my BMI. I have my BMI calculator right here on my phone. And my BMI today on the 3rd day of the fast is, come on, don't do this. My BMI calculator says, bear with me, phone decided to put a bunch of garbage on the desktop. My BMI yesterday was 20.9. Today my BMI is 138.6, is 20.8. And that's considered, it's in the third, it's in the first, at the top of the first third of the green zone. The normal is the green zone. Normally, I try and keep mine right in the middle of the green zone, which would have my weight at 145 pounds exactly. So my weight is, my BMI is 20.8. And also I did my HIIT, high impact interval training today at 10 minutes. I do 10 minutes when it's cold out. And it is cold. So normally, most of the year is not cold in Las Vegas, so I'm going to do 20 minutes of HIIT. But when I calculated in my longevity formula what would be the impact of 10 minutes of the HIIT on a daily basis, it did put me in elite physical performance. Of course, that's mostly the push-ups that I do. And I have this life expectancy at 122 to 127 years, I think it calculated. And I'm really proud of that. So on that note, I want to wrap it up for today and just remind you, we are near the end of the month of our fund drive. And I know a lot of us are pressured by many other things. Of course, the holiday shopping, the money we're going to be spending. Americans will spend over $1 trillion this year for holiday shopping, specifically during the months of November and December. $1 trillion Americans are going to spend, of which 193, no more, yeah, 155 billion of that, 135 billion of that belongs to African Americans and or Afro-Latinos. That's a lot of money. $135 billion is an awful lot of money. Is there a place inside of that for LIB radio to exist? I would like to think so. Who would not have benefited from today's class, from learning and knowing everything that we did? And you can go back, the recording's going to be there. You can go back and you can study it. Share it with your family and your friends. That's why I put it out here. We do the best we can, but we do have an emergency. And this is really turning into an emergency because the people really have not been responding. Some of you have. Kwame Reggie, for Africa One. You do respond today. I got a response in the mail from Charles, Brother Charles from Columbus. He regularly contributes every month. And I'm so grateful when I see those, because I have to transfer the money immediately to my checking account because I got in trouble. It was bouncing. I don't bounce checks. No one writes checks, but it was overdrawn account a couple of times this month and even more last month. We can do better than that. I can do better than that, but not and still carry LIB radio. Your health is your wealth. And we're committed to bringing you the knowledge you need to thrive. Your health is wealth. This December, as we reflect on another year of exploring wellness breakthroughs, holistic healing practices, and preventive health strategies, we're asking for your support to help this vital conversation keep going. Take it personally. I'm talking to you. Every episode we provide requires hours of research. I have to go through a lot of expert interviews and careful production to ensure you receive accurate, actionable health information. Look at the PowerPoint I presented today. It was awesome. And I did create it as a PDF. So if somebody wants this PDF, just make a donation today. Include your email address and or not your text address. Include your email address, or I will get your email address with that. And I'll send you today's report. I put it up in the catalog today, and I'm charging, I think, $20 for it. So that's a reasonable compensation for having free access to that PowerPoint report. We're not influenced by nutrition or by pharmaceutical sponsors or wellness industry gatekeepers. No, we're giving it directly to you. Your donation directly funds our efforts, our abilities to bring on medical professionals, when possible, wellness professionals, especially holistic medical professionals, wellness experts, and researchers who share cutting-edge information that mainstream media will almost always overlook. We're not trying to sell you supplements or miracle cures. We're here to empower you with knowledge that helps you make informed decisions about your well-being. This holiday season, while many of us are thinking about our health goals for the new year, consider investing in this podcast that's invested in you. Whether it's $5, $25, or $50, your contribution ensures we can continue delivering episodes that challenge conventional thought, explore alternative approaches, and celebrate the connection between mind, body, and spirit. Think about the value of just one insight that you got today that's going to help you change your health routine. One expert interview that answers your burning questions, or one episode that motivated you to prioritize self-care. That's worth supporting. Help us reach our December goal so we can expand our health coverage, bring on more diverse voices in wellness, and continue being your trusted companion on your health journey. Health is wealth. Together, we're building a healthier, more informed community, one episode at a time. So go to libradio.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, and look for the donation links. You will not regret having invested in all of us. So on that note, I think we have done a good job today. I hope you do agree. We're asking you to do your part now and make a difference. Make it better for all of us. I think we have earned your trust, and we are bound and determined to keep your trust for life. So I'm going to put up the links to our website, LIB Radio. You go there and you can make a donation. I'm also going to put up links to the video I showed at the beginning of the conversation today. And on that note, I ain't too proud to beg, but at the same time, we don't have to beg. We just have to come correct, and we have to come consistent. Thank you all for all you do for all of us. I am because we are. And we are a great people. If you like today's program, do hit the like button right now. On Rumble, hit the like. On YouTube, hit the like. We're promoting everything on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the social media platforms. We're going to be expanding things very shortly. I just have to get into a new routine. With this new routine, I need to start competing in the video shorts. I need to put together stuff that's going to be 3 minutes or shorter, which means of all the stuff I did today, I could grab 3 panels, 1 or 2 panels from the PowerPoint and just show everybody. What a day, what a wonderful day it's going to be. In your neighborhood, in my neighborhood, tomorrow I've got a guest on. He's going to be on for Christmas Eve, Brother Mbwewe Ishingi. He's got several new books he's going to be talking about. And I'm very grateful to have him in our corner. You've been tuned into LIB Radio, LIBLivingInBlack.com, your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We do the best we can, to always do the best we can, to keep on growing, keep on building, keep on developing new thoughts, new ideas that are very practical. On your favorite, we are LIB Radio, LIBTV. We are livinginblack.com. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you.